Father. Thank you for your word last night. Thank you for our communion service last night. Thank you for, we pray, a peaceful night of rest and sleep, and for blessing us to return to this place one more time. Thank you for your word, your Holy Spirit that you have made available to teach us this very word for today. Thank you for a rhema word that will change and transform all of our lives. Thank you for these who are here on time. May your mercy overshadow those who are yet traveling, that they will arrive safely. Be glorified in all that we say and do today, Father, in Jesus' name. Amen. Hebrews chapter 11, verse 22. Now, as we move through this, what is interesting is, now there's full stories in Genesis, but what becomes interesting is the writer, the parts that he has chosen to highlight that in our previous reading one may have overlooked. But an interesting tidbit of commentary in verse 22 that we will examine today. The focus today, interestingly enough, is a keeping faith and a delivering faith. It's a be prepared faith, if you will. We don't think about prepared generally. We only think about prepared after something tragic or catastrophic has happened. Then we go to check. It was something that was instilled in our grandparents, our parents. When it's time to go, we just bolt out the door. Hey, come back here. And then you get the pat down, you get the check. You got your hat, you got your gloves, you got your scarf, you got your key, you got your this, you got your that. And because in our minds, we're just ready to go. Right. Prepared was not something on our mind. It doesn't become an issue until you're outside and now your head is cold, your ears are cold. Now you're reaching for your head only to discover you ain't got it because you were so intent on leaving that wasn't on the prepared list. Yeah, gloves that we would normally have. I don't know how your mom and grandparents did y'all, but see, it used to be a little, device up our sleeves with like a little clip on it that would clip onto your gloves or your mittens. And that was just so not manly. We hated that growing up. But see, it was on there because it was not the natural thing for a boy to keep up with gloves or mittens, and certainly not both of them. And it's nothing worse than both your hands cold and you ain't got but one glove. What is rag? And so here it is in the narrative today. As we read this, things are as well as they can be for the Israelites. They're in a suburban town of Egypt. Joseph then made provision. Things are good. But how many know it doesn't stay good? Right. Life is not about climbing the mountain and building a condo up there and stay up there till you die. Life is a series of ups and downs. Now, let's look at verse 22 and then we'll get into our lesson for today.
By faith, Joseph, when he died, made mention of the is that right?
Yeah, go ahead. That's King James. Go ahead.
You paused. I mean, that threw me.
Well, no, I know when you were reading it, I know it was King James.
Oh, okay. Actuated by faith, Joseph, when nearing the end of his life, referred to the promise of God for the departure of the Israelites out of Egypt, and gave instructions concerning the burial of his own bones.
Now, it doesn't mean like a whole lot when you read it. I like that word, actuated. By definition, is to cause, to operate. Okay. You understand a car. It don't drive itself. is so designed until it requires a driver. All right. Well, now that's what actuated means. Joseph was the car. He didn't drive himself. He was moved by faith to do the rest of what you saw happen. All right? Which is why under normal circumstances, when the sages of our family near the end of their life, well, as tragic as it is, see, they're not moved by nothing.
Yeah.
That's why they don't do nothing. That's why they don't say nothing. And they go on and die, not understanding they have God-ordained responsibilities. All right? It takes something from God to be the father of the family. It takes something from God to be the mother of the family. It takes a certain type of blessing from God to do what God has called you to do. Well, watch this. By the time you get to the end of your life, there is somebody in your family that is already in the place that you're getting ready to vacate. Well, what you taking the blessing to the grave for? Because you don't know better. And so in God's word, we learn there is something that has to be passed down. So watch this. Nearing the end of his life, he realized, hey, I got some things I need to say. Y'all have some responsibilities even long after I've been gone. And what's this? I told you a keeping faith and a delivering faith. I want to go to Genesis 46. Because this almost don't seem right. God had already blessed Abraham with a piece of land. And when it came time for Isaac to marry, he sends a servant to go get him a wife. The man said, now what if the woman don't want to come back? Do you want me to take your son? Don't you never. Take my son there. And more importantly, don't ever vacate this spot that God has granted us. This is inherited land. Well, interestingly enough, as we read Genesis 46, I want you to see something, because Joseph is in Egypt, not Canaan. He is the man in Egypt, not Canaan. Now, watch this, 46:1.
So Israel made his journey with all that he had and came to Beersheba, a place hallowed by sacred memories.
Now, he's leaving because Joseph then sent for him. 5 years left of a terrible famine. Ain't nothing going to be happening in Canaan. And it don't make sense for y'all to keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Hey, go get Dad and all of the folk and tell them to get to Egypt, because this is where it's going down. This is where it's happening. This is where the food is. This is where I make the decision. And so when he got the word that the boy was alive, well, quite naturally, yeah, he wants to go see him before he dies. And this is what the trip is all about. He made his journey with all that he had. Come on.
And offered sacrifices to the God of his father Isaac.
Now, wish I had time to deal with that, because after all this time, Israel is an old man. And yet, he still refers to the God of his father and not so much his God. And some of us live in the same mindset. It ain't our God. We still serving the God of our parents, the God of our grandparents. He hasn't become personal to us yet. Watch this. Look at verse 2.
And God spoke to Israel in visions of the night and said,
see, that right there ought to be a signal to you. See, the folk that God had genuine relationship with, he spoke to them like I'm speaking to you right now. But see, when it's, you get visions and dreams and angels. Come on.
And said, Jacob, Jacob. And he said, here am I.
Listen to this carefully.
And he said, I am God, the God of your father. Do not be afraid to go down to Egypt, for I will there make of you a great nation.
Now, if you're a Bible marker, he says a whole lot in that verse. Now, the reason the angel says don't be afraid to go is because Jacob had great apprehension about going to Egypt. The whole family left. Now, we left land. Now, I don't know if we should be doing this. Now, I know the boy didn't send for me, and I want to see him. There was several dynamics going on. I don't know if I should leave this land. I'm an old man. I don't even know if I can make this trip. I got women and kids trying to travel. And the last time we traveled, we got into some issues with neighboring countries and stuff. And I don't know, but here comes God. I am God. Interesting enough, it's just El in the Hebrew. But in the original, it says, I am the El. Yeah, I'm the mighty God. But also the God of your father, what you miss in English is, I'm the covenant God. Somebody you've yet to come to know. And see, when you understand God as the covenant God, all that says in English is, I'm responsible for some stuff.
Right.
That ain't really settled in you yet, but I'm responsible for some stuff. I'm responsible for your protection. I'm responsible for your keeping. And I'm also responsible for your present and your future. So you didn't get that?
Right.
Yeah. So now, while you're apprehensive about your journey and where you're going and where you may end up, I want you to know something. I am God. I am the covenant God. I will be there with you. I'm going to make you a great nation. You're in a great nation now. Only 69 people went in because Joseph is there. That made 70. Get the count. It didn't count his 2 sons yet, even though he counted the 2 sons. Watch this in verse 4.
I will go down with you to Egypt.
Watch this.
And I will also surely bring you, your people Israel, up again. And Joseph will put his hand upon your eyes when they are about to close in death.
Watch this. Did you hear God? Where you going to die? So now watch this. This is a private conversation, but this is something, Mother Deborah, that has to be passed down. Somebody else in the family needs to know, God assured me he was coming down here with us. He's got to stay here with us and keep us to whatever degree the condition is. And he also confirmed that he would bring us up out of here again. Some of us have lived in some nice places. Some of us have lived in some not so nice places. And there was an apprehension when we went. Whether you date, married, whatever. You didn't move out your mama's house. We found out somewhere. And then where you choose to find, this ain't really the best of conditions. This ain't the best of neighborhoods. This ain't the best of nothing. And as should we even be here? And it's nothing more reassuring than to hear God, hey, listen, don't worry about all that. Yeah, this ain't the best place, but just know something. I'm with you while you in this jacked up place. While you jumping behind every noise. Is that a gunshot? While you jumping and flinching behind every, I'm with you. I'm going to keep you while you're here. And just like I've been with you while you're here, you ain't going to stay here forever. I'm going to bring you up out of this place when the time is right. Yeah. Watch this. I want you to go to chapter 50, verse 15. I should charge you off for this. Watch this. Every time somebody dies in the family, there needs to be a family reconciliation. Like about 5 months from now, you'll be driving down the street and hit a violent bump and your head almost hit the top of the car, and then it'll come to you. I'm going to show it to you. While we focus on the life and the death of the person in the box, what should have happened was a family reconciliation after every death. Well, why do you say that? Because whoever's in the box is out of the loop now. See, you crying about what you didn't get to say, what you didn't get to do, fences you didn't get to mend, times you didn't get to say I'm sorry, arguments you didn't get to settle, stuff you didn't get to bring closure to. You acting a fool about what you couldn't do with the one in the box, and there's folks sitting next to you, in front of you, behind you, and on the same row with you, that's in the same condition, but you ain't trying to fix that. You only upset about what was in the box, and God is saying, forget what's in the box. Fix what you can, while you can, on the ones in front of you, behind you, and on the rest of you.
That's it.
Watch this. Genesis 50:15. Watch this.
When Joseph's brethren saw that their father was dead,
Here he comes.
They said, perhaps now Joseph will hate us and will pay us back for all the evil we did to him.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Now, this is why I should charge y'all for this and get you for free. I want you to listen carefully at the brothers. See, Dorothy, oh, I'm going to say the word right there. These type of folk ain't changed.
Come on now.
All right.
They still as no good as they've ever been.
Yes.
Newsflash. And you will have family members that as much as you beg and fight and plead for them to change, some folk live a whole life and die and don't never change.
Come on, man.
That ain't got nothing to do with what God called you to do. You're missing all of this. They was wrong when they sold them, wrong all after that. The daddy lived, the daddy died, and they still wrong. They recognized, oh, daddy been taking care of us. Now daddy is dead. Who's gonna be the meal ticket? Oh Lord, we in Egypt, and we with Joseph. Oh wow, we ain't never reconciled our wrongs. Because make no mistake about it, we was wrong for what we did. Yep, we was emotional and all of that. We really blaming him for something that really wasn't his fault. But when you can't get to who you want to get to, you get to who you can't get to. Oh, you missing all of this. Watch this. Oh, he gonna remember what we did to him. And he gonna surely pay us back. Keep reading.
And they sent a messenger to Joseph saying, your father commanded before he died, saying,
Oh, that's a lie. Come on.
so shall you say to Joseph, forgive, take up and away all resentment and all claim to requital concerning. I pray you now the trespass of your brothers and their sin, for they did evil to you. Now we pray you forgive the trespass of the servants of your father's God. And Joseph wept when they spoke thus to him.
Cry because, wow, that's tragic. I'm sorry, y'all somewhere. I ain't even there. Y'all stuck at a crash scene, and I done left there years ago. I can't believe this is what's on y'all mind. Not to mention the fact I'm crying because I know y'all lying. Daddy didn't even like y'all like that. You didn't even hear what I'm saying. He know how the family was set up. Now, yeah, if it's the other way around, it's going to be different. But Joseph forgive them, make it right with them, like daddy really cared like that about them. You got to go back and check the story. Oh, no. This daddy said this before he died. And while you playing, it's many family members that's the lie on the dead.
Yeah. Get money.
And still do. Yeah, grandmama said before she died, I was at the hospital. Remember, you was late, you wasn't there. She said, when you get your part of the money, don't forget. Yeah, all that money you owe me. Grandmama said, make sure, tell baby to pay you that money back. Grandmama ain't said that. But what difference does it make? If you lied on folk while they was living, why stop? Keep lying on them while they dead. He said this. I want you to hear Joseph though. Come on, verse 18.
Then his brothers went and fell down before him, saying, see, we are your servants, your slaves.
Yeah, it's funny. Hopefully you say when you're between a rock and a hard place, which is the same place. Yeah, it's different how your conversation is. They're not repentant. They're not changed. They're fearful because they ain't in no position to call no shots. See, Joseph not only is in Egypt, Joseph got the army behind him. Ain't nothing changed. He's second in command. I can have y'all put in jail. I can have y'all killed. See, yeah, we ain't dreaming no more. See, we was mad at the dream. We're looking at reality now. Wow. Watch this. Listen to what he says in 19.
And Joseph said to them, fear not, for am I in the place of God? Vengeance is his, not mine.
So now watch this. What were they asking for?
Forgive him. Then he don't kill him.
Pay attention. Watch this. What did Joseph tell him?
That's from God. That's not me.
Yeah.
So now, whatever punishment y'all trying to avoid, whatever you're trying to escape, whatever you hope I can't erase, that ain't my job. If there's anything to pay for what y'all did, that's between y'all and God. It's so tragic. We got stuff in every family. Dorothy, we trying to make sure it's right between me and you, and should have been trying to make sure it was right between you and God. Anybody hear nothing I'm saying? Because see, we can squash it and you still catch hell. Because it wasn't between me and you no way. It was between you and God. And you still ain't got that part right. Watch this. I ain't in the place of God. And yeah, let's get the record straight. Y'all did me wrong. Vengeance, and what's supposed to go with what y'all did, don't belong to me. It belongs to him. This is what I can tell you though. See, y'all looking at it from a fear perspective. This is how I look at it. Verse 20, watch this.
As for you, you thought evil against me.
Come on.
But God meant it for good.
Watch this.
To bring about that many people should be kept alive as they are this day.
See, that's where he was. I didn't understand this in the beginning. See, I thought it was about me and my dad and my family. I didn't realize it was so much bigger than that. And that's where most of us miss it in our walk with God. We're so narrow in our thinking, so narrow in our perception and understanding, so narrow in our thought process with God. It's just about me and mine, and maybe a few extras on the side. And God is like, man, when I saved you, when I cleaned you up, when I delivered you, this wasn't just about you. This is about a whole community of folk. It was about a whole nation of folk. I'm trying to use you and have your life touch hundreds and thousands of people. This wasn't just about Joseph and saving his little family. He said, man, God used me, can't even count, to save many. All kinds of nations came to Egypt for food or they would have died.
Yes, sir.
I thought it was about me. I thought it was about my family. Till God showed me the big picture, I realized, oh Lord, if God had done what he done, if God hadn't used my life the way he used my life, not only would my family have died, but scores of other folk would have died. So praise God, he allowed me to save my family, but it's more than just my family. I was able to save more lives.
Yes.
Lord.
Yeah. You thought it evil, but God is greater. You missing all of that. God can take, you ain't gonna get this. So what, Mother Deborah, you were in a relationship for 30 years and that man beat you for 30 years. Only God can take what you testify as the absolute worst thing in your life and some kind of way turn it around and make it the best thing in your life. Anybody hear nothing I'm saying? Now, all while you enduring the 30 years, you don't even believe it's a God. It can't be no God. Do he see what I'm going through? You don't hear your own testimony. You didn't say, did he see I died in it? Did he see I'm stuck in it? Do he see what I'm... Do you know the only way you can go through, you got to still be moving?
All right.
Amen.
Oh.
You won't even give him a praise.
Yep.
Standstill traffic is the absolute worst. And we all hate traffic. But if I'm moving a little bit,
All right. Yeah.
a little bit of movement beat stand still. Watch this. You thought it for evil, but God is so awesome. He overcame your evil with good. It ain't just in the story. He done done it with all our lives.
Yes, he heard.
To bring about that people should be kept alive. Why do Carolyn and Jamie have a ministry to the homeless? Because they have just such a heart for the homeless? You think that's it? Oh, they're just so caring and loving. Oh, I wish I was like them. No, you don't. See, they have a heart for those kind of people because they used to be those kind of people.
That's right. That's right. Amen.
See, most people with an authentic jail ministry is somebody.
That's in jail.
And when somebody would come and visit them. Wish somebody would bring them a word. And God saved them, gave them word and said, now go back to them same brothers and same sisters that's in the same spot you was in. Remember when you wish for a word? Remember when you sitting in your jail, wish somebody would come and give a word? When I go give them the same thing you wish you had got. That's why God does what he does. You ain't going to the drug house unless you're an ex-drug addict. You know what it is to be laid out on the floor. And don't nobody care about you. Don't nobody think about you. You don't know whether you coming or going. You got to be there to know what it's like. And when God bring you out, yeah. Well, I ain't going up in there. Oh, don't worry about it. Oh, you ain't scared? I used to visit this place. I used to be a customer. It's a mindset. It's a different mindset. Yeah. Watch this. To bring many people to be kept alive as they are this day. Come on, 21, he's still talking to him.
Now therefore, do not be afraid.
Because they ain't listening, like y'all don't.
I will provide for and support you and your little ones.
Come on.
And he comforted them, imparting cheer, hope, and strength, and spoke to their hearts kindly.
Watch this. But you can't receive from a changed heart unless your heart. See, mother, he can talk to them like that because, see, God had done something to him.
Amen.
Trying to show you something. He talking to family. You can talk to family till you blue in the face. I ain't gonna do you no wrong. If they believe you're gonna do them wrong, and then you can do about that part. That's them can't sleep at night.
That's right.
Oh God. Watch this. 22, come on.
Joseph dwelt in Egypt, he and his father's household, and Joseph lived 110 years.
Watch this, watch this. They brought his sons to Joseph's knees. But now watch this. He just told them, don't worry about nothing. I'm going to take care of y'all and your little ones. 24.
And Joseph said to his brethren,
Which is what all of us got to get to. Because see, all parents try to reassure your kids, hey, you know what? It's my job to take care of you. But we don't tell them the whole truth. I can only take care of you as long as I'm here. But one of these days, you're going to go to sleep and wake up, and mama, daddy, whoever, we ain't going to be here. We got to go the same way everybody else went. My parents, my dad stayed as long as he could. At 80, the year he said he had to go. You stay as long as God lets you stay, but sooner or later, you got to go to the way of the earth. So that the folk who thought you were the source of their strength, you are the hope of their life. It ain't them. Now he done comforted them, reassured them. Hey, I got it. But now watch this. Joseph knew something. Who just came a few verses earlier and he put his hands on his eyes? You ain't paying attention. His daddy, Jacob. Yeah, he put his hands on his eyes because he died in Egypt. The whole big old procession, they went, whole big funeral and all of that, whole 9. So he understood death is just as much part of life as living is. Watch this. Joseph said to his brothers what?
Joseph said to his brethren, I'm going to die.
Watch this.
But God will surely visit you and bring you out of this land to the land he swore to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob to give you.
Watch this. Watch this. Did you hear that? Something that we don't tell our kids enough. I don't care what you think about it. Sooner or later, we got to get out of here.
All right now.
We started out talking about being prepared. That's why our kids ain't prepared for nothing. We try to make our kids think we're going to live forever.
Come on now.
That's a lie.
Yes.
Then when they see us sick and our bodies fail, watch this, they act a fool and go crazy. Why?
Yes.
Nobody
Told you.
Every day we get older, we get a little weaker. Steps get a little shorter.
That's right.
Eyes get a little dimmer. Just signs and symptoms to let us know we're on our way somewhere. Whether you making plans or not, we're on our way somewhere. Now, not only do you need to get yourself ready for the journey, you need to get your kids ready for the journey.
That's right. That's all right.
Hey, newsflash. I'm getting ready to die. But God who's been keeping me is the same God that's going to visit you and bring you out of this place. I don't care how good it get, I don't care how comfortable it get, I don't care how hard it get. Watch this. I need y'all to do something. 25, watch this.
And Joseph took an oath from the sons of Israel, saying, God will surely visit you, and you will carry up my bones from here.
Did you hear that? Wait a minute. That's a delivering faith. Hebrews said, actuated by faith. He told them this. Now, when you do the math, they have been there about 80 years or so. They got about another 300 or so plus years to go. He gonna die, and whoever he talks to gonna be dead. And their kids gonna be dead. And their kids gonna be dead. And their kids gonna be dead. But watch this. When Israel left Egypt, the Bible says, and they took Joseph's bones with them. Why would they do that? That meant with every generation. Oh, by the way, your great-granddaddy Joseph said, when we leave here, we got to take his bones. That just lets you know, we do know how to
Pass information.
pass stuff down. See, we got family lies that we didn't pass down. Yeah. Marissa, that's your uncle. No, maybe that's your daddy. But we don't tell the truth in this family. That's your uncle. Now everybody else knows that's your daddy. But they told you that's your uncle. I tell my don't come in and make a change. You finna get all of this. I didn't sign up for this. Oh yes, you did. He said, my people are destroyed. Come on.
And when I told my dad who I was talking to, because me and my mom, we didn't, we weren't in the city, in the town like that. She went to work, I went to school, and we came home, so we didn't know. And when I talked to my dad, he said, what is his name? And I told him his name. He said, Reed. I said, yeah. He said, okay, which one is this? And so he came back to me, and he said, oh, that's the one that's in college? I said, oh, okay, because, no.
But he knew the family.
He knew the family. Yes, he did.
But did he give you any truth though?
Yes. He was like, no, you're not going to, no ma'am. You're not going to talk to nobody that got no last name because of the family. And after he went back, I said, damn, this guy ain't, I mean, and he had to go back and say, let me go down this line and see which one of these guys. And he came back, he said, oh, that's the one that's in college. And sure enough, that was the one that was in college.
See, y'all laughing, but see, it's truth all in the city. They just don't know.
He just didn't know.
See, y'all, I don't care what you think. Oh, he look nice. Oh, she fine. She fine and crazy. You just saw the fine part.
Yep.
Go on and marry. Crazy gonna show up sooner or later. Yeah.
Oh, man.
I don't care what you're talking about. Y'all, and this is what helps people. Watch this just a little bit more. Come on, verse 5.
Simeon and Levi are brothers.
Mind you now, this is the same boy that's gonna be the priestly tribe. He's the church boy. This is the boy that keeps the house of the Lord. I want me a good Christian boy. Here he is. I want me a church going boy. I want me a boy that stay at the church. Here he is. Come on.
Simeon and Levi are brothers, equally headstrong,
What that? Don't you want a good headstrong man? Come on.
deceitful,
Oh, there it is. These are good church boy qualities. Come on.
vindictive,
Yes.
There you go.
Come on.
And cruel.
Yes! I need all of this. A good church boy. Come on, mama. I need a church boy. Here he is.
Their swords are weapons of
You
violence.
see that? Yeah, all of this going on and like to kill. Come on, get this church boy. Yeah. Oh, I didn't. What you mean not that one? Levi is all the church boys. What you talking about? Yeah, they're all the church boys. I don't want that one. Well, they all the same. Yo, watch this. Come on.
Oh my soul, come not into their secret council.
I don't care what they talking about. You better be know what caught with them. Come on.
Unto their assembly, let not my honor be united. For I knew nothing of their plot, because in their anger they slew men, and honored man, Shechem, and the Shechemites, and in their self-will that they disabled oxen.
Only the daddy was honorable, but they killed the daddy too. He was a king. Now the son wasn't no good. He didn't know. He jumped the daughter. He was so hot for it, like y'all ain't never been there. And when they found out, not only were they mad that they jumped the daughter and defiled her, Jacob didn't do nothing. They said, oh, it's okay. They was at work when they heard about it. That's all right. We'll fix it. Yeah, that's why he just said, I ain't got nothing to do with this plot. I didn't know nothing about it. Them two boys got together and said, hey, let's do that church stuff on them. Let's tell them we can't associate with y'all unless y'all get circumcised. Them nothing about that church talk.
Right.
You know, when we circumcise, they don't know how to do it. We're going to do it for them. But while they saw it, we're going to really fix them up. They circumcised the whole town, and while they were recovering toward, these same boys came back and killed every man in the city.
That's evil.
That's evil.
They did.
That is evil.
The only person that had done wrong was the man's son. No, we killing all y'all. Just because we can.
That's an evil plot.
Let's get back to our church duties. Yeah, yeah. You come to the church for a good church man. This is what you're gonna get. You better find a God man. Watch this.
Cursed be their anger, for it was fierce, and their wrath, for it was cruel.
That's what you're getting now.
I will divide them in Jacob and scatter them in Israel.
They my sons. I don't even want them close to me. Move around. Come on, verse 8. We're gonna go.
Judah, you are the one whom your brothers shall praise. Your hand shall be on the neck of your enemies. Your father's son shall bow down to you.
Come on.
Judah, a lion's cub with the prey, my son. You have gone high up the mountain. He stooped down. He crouched like a lion, and like a lioness who dare provoke and rouse him.
You sure talking good about him, honey.
The scepter or leadership shall not depart from Judah, nor the ruler's staff from between his feet, until Shiloh, the Messiah, the peaceful one, comes to whom it belongs, and to him shall be the obedience of the people.
Well, he sure said a lot about him. Then I already tied Jesus to this boy. Newsflash. I ain't got time to open up all this for you. Reuben lost the birthright, y'all. Behind what he did? That means when he lost it, it had to go to another son. This the boy went to. He was the fourth born. Come on, go up to 12. I ain't got time to read all that. He's still going on about him. His eyes all that. 13, watch this.
Zebulun shall live toward the seashore, and he shall be a haven and a landing place for ships, and his border shall be toward Sidon.
Yeah, he like the water. Come on.
Issachar is a strong-boned donkey, crouching down between the sheepfolds.
Did you hear that? See, this boy, he's an ass. Watch this. Y'all can't handle it. It's true. Watch this. Watch
Don't
this.
make him say it to you.
Not in behavior, but in work ethic. Oh, y'all missed all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, look at that. He got a funny name. That ain't no real masculine name. But watch this. What the daddy said is, this a hard worker.
Yeah.
Y'all missing all this. Come on, just feel where we gotta go. 16.
Dan shall judge his people as one of the tribes of Israel.
And every family got one. Every family got a judge. Come on.
Dan shall be a serpent by the way, a horned snake in the path, that bites at the horse's heels, so that his rider falls backward.
It ain't no good. You always got folk that sneaky in the family. You see that?
Yeah.
You riding a horse, and I went till you pass. I bit the horse heel so that the horse could buck and you fall up backwards. I don't know what happened to you, man. It's right there! 19.
Gad, a raiding troop shall raid him, but he shall raid at the heels and assault them victoriously.
Yeah. A raiding troop shall raid him. It's always somebody in the family. Folk always take stuff from you. But he said, don't worry about it. Before the dust settles, Gad gonna get you back. You always get somebody in the family. Payback. Oh, you got me this time. I bet you better not go to sleep. And if you do, I bet you better sleep with one eye open. Oh, there's folk in the family to get you back and then tell you. Remember when you did that? Remember that time you got me? Didn't I tell you? I told you I was going to get you back. So they get you back and remind you that again. I'm trying to tell y'all.
Yeah.
Tell me we got to go. Y'all take too long.
Asher's food supplies.
Not Ashton.
Asher.
Come on.
Asher's food supply shall be rich and fat, and he shall yield and deliver royal delights.
See that? And you always got somebody in the family, they got something.
Always got money.
They got money and stuff. It's always somebody. Now you may not be able to get none, but they got some. Look at it. His food supply is rich and fat. Watch this, 21.
Naphtali is a hind let loose which yields lovely fawns.
Did you hear that? He a baby maker. Yeah. Nobody hear nothing I'm saying. I don't like the Bible. Look at it, Keisha. A hind, that's a nice, tender deer. This a pretty boy. Who, when you let him loose, he yields lovely fawns. That's more babies. Y'all playing. Every family got him. See, y'all don't say the truth. This girl live. Ooh, he looks like he'll make pretty babies. Do he work? Will he bring his check home? Will he beat on you? I don't know, but like he make pretty babies. That's what Naphtali was. Y'all playing. That's the daddy telling y'all the truth. He's a good-looking boy, but I'm telling you now, yeah, baby maker. Yeah, y'all, is that like this? A daddy talking about his son? Somewhere it's a mama talking about her daughter. I don't care how fine she is. Fool if you want to, she a baby maker, son. And that's why at 23 she got 9 kids. And you trying to figure out what happened? I'm trying to tell you she was a baby maker. Y'all watch this. Come on, we gotta go. 22, y'all playing.
Joseph is a fruitful bough.
Now he got a whole chapter he finna talk about Joseph. We ain't got time to read all that. Okay, he like Joseph.